And now for the answers. Question 1. A custom block does not have its own public-facing URL. True or false? The answer is false. This is probably the most distinguishing feature between a custom block and a piece of content. Question 2. Path Auto will automatically generate paths for existing content when you add a pattern. True or false? The answer is false. You actually have to go to the bulk generate tab in the URL aliases configuration in order to generate aliases for existing content. Question 3. You can place multiple instances of a block on the same page at the same time. True or false? The answer is true. This means that if you need the same content in multiple places on a page, you can either use a custom block or you can use a view to generate a block from any other kind of content on the site. Question 4. You can reposition the title of a block below other fields. True or false? The answer is false if you're using the block itself. However, if you're using views to display the block, you can reposition the fields as you'd like. And then question 5. Why is it useful to make a path alias that contains keywords from the content? Check all that apply. The answer? B, C, and E. A descriptive path is good for end users because it describes the content, but it's also good for search engines because the search engines look at the content and they also highlight the keywords in the content in the search engine result pages, but it's not faster to type. And Drupal's default process of creating URLs makes sure that each piece of content has a unique URL, so uniqueness doesn't really come into play. Now let's take a look at the challenges. Our first challenge was create automatic paths for featured adventures that use the pattern node title dash and then date in the format month, year. So this is a 2-digit month and a 4-digit year. So let's go to our aliases page and let's go to patterns. Let's add a new Path Auto pattern for content. And the pattern is going to be the node title first. So let's browse our tokens, go to nodes, scroll down to title. And then it's going to be dash, and then the date. So here under nodes, we're going to select date created, and let's use a custom format. So this will allow us to put our format where this question mark is. There's a link here to the PHP documentation for date. Let's open this up in a new tab. So we want a 2-digit month to begin with. So I'll scroll down to the month section, and this is what we want here. So that's going to be lowercase m, and then a dash, and then the full year, which is going to be a capital Y. And for the label, we'll call this Featured Adventurer. We'll click Save. Let's create a Featured Adventurer to test this out. We'll add the full name Delete Me and click Save and Publish. And the URL is Delete Me and then month and year. Nice. Let's do a little cleanup. Let's delete our content and delete our path alias rule right here. And let's delete it. Okay, our next challenge is set the Featured Adventurer view block to rotate randomly and then add a dummy Featured Adventurer to test it out. So actually what might make more sense is to create our dummy content first so we can test out the rotation in the views preview. Let's do that. I'm going to add a Featured Adventurer. We'll call it Delete Me. Save this. And now let's go to our view. So I'll go to Structure, Views, and let's search for Featured, and we'll edit our Featured Adventurer view. So what we want to change is the sort criteria. So instead of authored on, let's make it random. So I'm going to search for random. Here it is, randomize the order. And I'll click add and configure sort criteria. I'll click apply. And now we need to remove this authored on sort criteria. So I'll remove that and let's scroll down. So we get Josie Jones and let's click update preview. If we click it enough times, we'll get delete me and it goes back and forth randomly. Okay, perfect. Let's clean this up. So let's change our sort criteria back. So we'll remove the random and then add the authored on. And let's actually set this to sort descending and click apply. That way it will show the latest one. And finally, let's delete our Featured Adventurer. Now our final challenge is to add a block to the sidebar that links to the latest blog entry. So to do this, we'll need a new view. So we'll go to Structure, Views, Add New View. We'll call this Delete Me. We're going to show content of all types blog, and we'll create a block. We'll leave it at titles. That's fine for now. We'll set the items per block to just one and click Save and Edit. And if we scroll down, we'll see the latest blog entry here. By default, it gets the sorted by authored on descending, which will show the latest content first. So now we need to add this to the sidebar. So let's save this view, and we'll go to our block layout page. We'll scroll down to sidebar second, and let's place our block in here. We'll select the Delete Me view block. Let's click Save Block, and let's go back to our home page and take a look. All right, there it is, the latest blog entry. Now let's clean this up. We'll delete the block and the view. We'll delete the block, delete again, and now let's delete the view. So it appears that our reward for completing these challenges is an animal of increasing size. Last time I think we got a porcupine. Let's see what we got this time.